welcome back to Let's Play Medieval 2 Total War England Campaign, episode the 97th with me, Skwalker. Oh yes, 97 episodes. It's getting close now, isn't it? It's actually the last episode of this Total War week and a bit. So, thank you very much for those of you who joined us. I know we didn't really accomplish as much as I wanted to. I really wanted to be further than I was by the time we got to this episode, but we've had rebels, incursions, and a fucking plague getting in our way. Luckily, the bad times are falling behind us now. So what did we accomplish last time? We didn't really do a lot, if I'm honest. We mainly just did some pottering about, some admin, just shooting things up, and then just killing off some rebels. So what we're doing now, well, as you can see, Hungary's on its way again. Captain Breda is on his way over, and oh great, my favourite unit in the world, Bulgarian Brigands. Alright, that's bloody brilliant, but right, we'll deal with that later. Francis is going to try and ambush someone, though he isn't doing a very good job of it. And we are trying to take Palermo, and we also laid siege to Krakow, which I'm just going to try and starve out. We've got 6 turns left on that one while the population slowly dies. So what we're going to do first things first, as we are pretty much at the end of his turn, unfortunately. But our overall objective is we are building up more troops now, because we are preparing to land in Africa and start our march on the Mongols. But Captain Paul needs to take Palermo in order to clear the Mediterranean for us. So he is going to take on Nenetolo today, and then we're going to move in and attack Palermo. Basically, we're going to try and hold the town to hostage. That being said, the Sicilians may sail up more units, so it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. But at the same time, I want to try and hold Palermo. I want to try and get into the habit of holding towns to ransom, just sieging them as long as possible. Like Alexandria, we could like, that's a 5-turn siege, like we could do that. But then again, with the Mongolians, I kind of want to take towns quickly. But you get what I mean. I want to try and make sure that any battles I get into are necessary. So I've just merged up my men, and yeah, dealing with Captain, well, Nenetolo is very necessary because he's in my way. So we're going to get in there. And by the way, this is where the Karecki family is, Buffalo and Paparero. So there's a lot of general bodyguards, which is the annoying thing. Also, there's a prince. So that's why I definitely want to try and starve out Palermo, because they've got general's bodyguards there who are going to be tough. Need to bring their numbers down. But for now, I'm going to attack Nenetolo and his band of Catalans, and just try and make life harder for the men of Sicily. Is he taking their home turf here? Nene has taken my challenge, by the way. It's a strength ratio of 3-2 in my favour, so we are going to be fighting Nene and 2 Catalans. Now, Nene's biggest advantage is I don't have any spear units, but that being said, I'm going to try and blow him up with some artillery. And my feudal knights and Hobila should also give him a bit of trouble. So let's just get in there and, well, have a fight with him.
This battle belongs to England.
Okay, so it's not really the best weather today, so I'm actually going to get some better weather going for us. Let's see what we get here. Oh, a nice sunset battle with mild rain. Yeah, I can do with mild rain. Even though it's probably not good for my gunpowder units, but whatever. Okay, so let's get our men deployed and prepare for the battle. So the cannon will go up front, as it always does. I'll let it use its fire ammunition just to get whatever shots it can. And there'll also be a catapult also trying to do the same thing. Now, I also have some longbowmen. They're very low in number, however, they do have their stakes still, which will be able to just create some trouble for the enemy. And then behind that, we're going to deploy our armoured swordsmen and our dismounted feudal knights as well, who will actually go here because then, you know what, I kind of bulk up my men. Hobilars and feudal knights are my cavalry units. I'll be having them act independently of each other though, because these guys are the heavies and these guys are the lights. So let's get this one deployed, and I basically just speed ran my deployment that time around, which is probably something I should really get into a habit of doing. Either way, cannon, open fire upon the enemy, and let's see if we can try and draw them towards us. That might not be the case. They'll probably want to hold their position because, well, Catalans aren't really a very offensive unit, or maybe they are, but I think they actually are going to just try and hold their position. So, yeah, that's fair. That's fair play to them, if I'm honest. Let's get our longbows moving up then, and let's see if we can get our catapult to start just laying down some fire. I mean, because of a lack of archers, I don't really want to bring them forward, if anything. I want to just try and let my artillery just do the talking for the initial part of the battle. By the way, bombard, when I say attack someone, I don't mean just stand there and stare at them. We are actually attacking or...
Attack! When's your command?
Yeah, you're just going to pretend to do it, right? Let's start moving this bombard forward then, because I'm not standing around and just having my units just pretend to do their job. I don't tolerate that. You do your job and you do it properly. Let's start moving up the rest of our troops as well. I am probably going to send for some reinforcements from Naples at some point, by the way, but as it stands, I think I have enough men to carry through a very short campaign. Really, I just want to siege them and just hold them to ransom, because I'm not really using the right composition, but however, these are the best units I had to spare after a very erratic, confusing and tatty campaign against the Italians. But taking Palermo will seal my victory against the Sicilians for now, or at least, you know, I'll raid their African colonies. About what they have in the Slavic parts of the world, that's theirs to keep. I don't care for it. Let some other faction take it over. I will defend against any attacks they send my way. Right. Cannons are now getting into position. Hopefully they are going to open fire, or they're just going to pretend to do nothing. Lads, doing it? No, come on. Are we gonna... Yeah, the cannons today, by the way, it just doesn't want to know. Right, artillery's going to continue with firing upon the enemy lines, then they've already managed to hit some of the enemy cavalry, so that's already a positive move forward. Oh, I was hoping there we'd just snipe the general. If we can snipe the general, we'll be in with a win there. Right, cannon. You're just about cresting the hill there. Can we start hitting something now, please? Like, no, we're not going to hit something. It's say we await your command. Even though my commands are incredibly clear right now, my command is that you go in and you fucking wipe out the enemy, except you're not doing that, are you? Right. In fact, I'm basically putting my bombard at risk of now just being nuked by my catapult, which is really fucking stupid, by the way. But yeah, my cannon has decided today it's going to be a little brat and it isn't going to shoot anything. I guess it's because of the hilliness of this particular battlefield. However, yeah, this is just now getting a little bit ridiculous for my liking, because now we're actually starting to draw the enemy out of position, which is going to make my life harder, because they're probably just going to come forward and now start picking on my little units. So you know what, Hobilars, get yourselves over here, though do it very carefully, because I don't want you to just go and trip over the stakes, which I've lovingly placed out, which I was hoping to use to basically try and bait an enemy general. But Hobilars, I want you here, just in case the enemy tries to sneak up on my artillery positions, please. Bombard, are we firing, or are we... Nah, I don't think you're firing, you know, I don't trust you anymore. Move up this way and just keep trying to do something useful. Luckily we managed to take out more of the general's bodyguard. The weaker my catapult makes them, the better, really, because I need them weakened. Right, cannon. Are we going to shoot now? Finally, right, the cannon's going to shoot. It only just had to be basically staring point blank at the enemy in order to become effective. Okay, we're going to start getting our first few cannonballs loaded up, so I think it's probably high time I started moving my general army forward, because as it stands, they're in nowhere near the position to start returning fire or doing anything useful. Longbowmen have been firing for a while, by the way. I haven't noticed that they have been firing, but left them on fire at will. Are you guys actually firing, by the way? Yeah, they're letting out a few arrows, right? That's fine. They can continue doing what they're doing. They've just been sat here trying to wear out some of the Catalans. They're not really having the best of times doing it, but then again, it's an incredibly weakened unit of longbowmen. I'm not expecting them to get too many hits, and they're not really on the best angle of fire, so any shots that they do make, they're going to be very lucky to do so. And now the enemy army is moving, they're responding to my new movements. So, cannon, I want you to just exclusively target the general, please. Artillery, or catapult, you just keep at it as well, don't let the enemy's movements put you off. Because right now it is just going to be an artillery game, but the enemy Catalans are going to move in soon, and I thought that was going to be it, but I thought that was going to be the general killer. Right, you start moving in on those Catalans now. They want to fight. Let's give them the fight. Let us oblige them. Except that I don't know who I told to do the fighting. Right, feudal knights, come on, get on with it. One of those Catalans gone. They're skirmishing around and they're being a little bit of a pest. I want you just to move in, whomp them, and get them out of here, please. Hobilars will be better suited for this as well. You know what, Hobilars, I want you to... no, actually no, Hobilars, just hold your position for now. Feudal Knights, you come back now. You did a good job at just giving them a bit of difficulty, but I don't want you to fight them forever, because... come on, I keep hoping we're going to get a good shot. But then again, General, good job, good job, good job. I just want to have you creep around the flank, and now get in there. Catalans were being very disorganised and they weren't just quite committed to a fight, but I want to make sure that we can get them committed. I want to just commit to a fight that I can easily win with basically little to no casualties. There we go. Engaged them, and I've already taken one of my guys. Looks like these guys like to use their javelins as stabby things, or basically as a backup spear. These guys are smarter than I gave them credit for. Alright, Feudal Knights, I don't want you to engage in this unit. I want this to be an infantry engagement. Get yourselves out of there before you take too many casualties, because yeah, that is not good. Those Feudal Knights are going to be quite key to me taking these towns. I think I haven't planned this one out properly. I think I'm going to need reinforcements, which annoys me. And again, you know what? I'm going to summon a reinforcements from Cagliari instead of Rome, because I'm not going to get them in time from there. Cagliari, I could get them summoned over very quickly, but yeah. Turns out these Catalans are devious little buggers. They're not just any crap skirmish unit. They're counter cavalry as well. Very, very devious. Won't be sending any cavalry to deal with them in a while. Absolute wankers. Right. Longbows, keep up your attacks. I'm going to let the artillery just finish its course of firing now. So what I am going to do now, my friends, is I'm going to just skip out this part of the battle. I'm going to see you when something else is happening.
Our men have slain the enemy general. Without him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
Well, that was an objective achieved there. Very good. My catapult, by the way, decided to also give in to laziness and just suddenly decided it didn't want to know about its job, but now I've just made it do its job. Anyway, apart from that, nothing else of note is happening right now, so I'll see you again when something of note happens. Okay, my artillery has now done its job. It's weakened the enemy. It's managed to take out a nice big chunk of the general's bodyguard, and the Catalans aren't looking so hot either. Now, because those little buggers are actually a counter-cavalry unit, I'm going to let the armoured swordsman walk in and finish the job, whereas the feudal knights, or at least what's left of them now, will assist in taking down the general's bodyguard with some extra help from the Hobilars. Either way, the enemy is going to manoeuvre into position to try and give me some hell, and I just realised these little shits will skirmish as well. It's like the worst of both worlds. These guys are absolute piss stains. Right, well, let's just try and engage them quickly. We'll use our cavalry to try and herd them, because I am not in the mood for playing herd for skirmisher. In fact, they're just going to run away outright, I think. That's fine. I'm going to make my focus on getting rid of that enemy general. Either way, armoured swordsmen get in there. Hobilars, try and cut off their escape if you can. Either way, we're going to try and engage the general's bodyguard as well. Let's get rid of him now. Feudal Knights, get in there and deal with the general. Dismounted Feudal Knights, just get in there and help. Armoured Swords, I know you're not going to have the best of times fighting this one, but
badly bloodied.
There we go, the general's going to run anyway. Right, let's make our job now, get rid of the Catalans. Hobilars, get up there and cut them off. I want you to ensure that they have no viable route to escape. Therefore, we'll be able to sweep them down. In fact, if we cut them down quickly,
victory will be ours.
There we go. Like if we just attack quickly, it'll be before they start becoming an absolute bullshit counter-cavalry unit. So there we go. That'll slow them up for a little bit, and if they choose to fight back, then oh wait, no, they're not going to fight back because they're going to run away. Good. Right. Let's bring down whatever we can. We don't need to worry about the general's bodyguard because the key player in that unit is now dead. Hobilars, if you could just chase down what's left of those Catalans, please. Feudal Knights, you deal with these ones. And that is this little battle wrapped up with a nice neat little bow. If a frustrating one, because I don't know why I'm so salty about losing so many Feudal Knights to Catalans, apart from in my book. I mean, alright, I'm new to this unit, but I always wrote off Catalans as a absolutely pathetic skirmisher, but it looks like we've got ourselves a sneaky boy. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on those guys much more in the future, for they definitely did cause me much heartache. Still, apart from that, the battle did go my way quite successfully, even if the cannon was an absolute little annoyance.
That goes to only men of great virtue and valour.
Good job, men. Good job. You did everything you could. I apologise, I got so many of you killed to those Catalans. I mean, yeah, 36 losses. I know it's still bugger all, but still, most of us were Feudal Knights getting wiped out. Still, good job, men. A few units gained some experience, which I can never argue against. Now let us make our next move, or rethink our moves. I can't afford to have these guys live in. They're going to have to be killed off.
The day is ours, sire.
Alright, I'm glad that the day remains ours. Right, what do we know about the enemy garrison? So we are fighting 2 units of dismounted Norman Knights and a unit of armoured sergeants. I'm confident in my men's ability to take these units down. I still have concerns about the general's bodyguard. Because I can't just get lucky every battle and just zap them with some artillery. But I think I have enough units to hold them to account. But 3 general's bodyguards is going to be pushing my luck. If all else fails, I will send for extra troops from Cagliari. Admiral Lawrence, I know you wanted to... Oh, what's Admiral Corrado? Nice, fine. I want you to... Actually, no, I've got Admiral John here. Right, Admiral John, you can keep... I want you to be ready to leave Cagliari at short notice, in case I need you to be ferrying troops across. Admiral Lawrence, before you go back to Marseille, I want you to deal with some other units. Like, I've got Sicilian navies just sailing around being in the way. Oh, here's what's after Admiral Prezibor, right? Get rid of him. Good. Right, he's gone. That's a big thorn in my side, gone at long last. We'll get rid of this one as well. And 2 sinkages. I love it when the sinkages finally work for me. Right, we'll merge our units up. Trait increased by over. Admiral Lawrence is now a worthy admiral. I'm happy about that. Get yourself back to Marseille and await further orders from me. Admiral John, you hold your position here. Good. Right, so we are pretty much at the end of his turn now. I was going to have Prince Christopher build some forts, except he doesn't... Well, I don't have enough money to build anything. But I do want to build a fort here next turn. Hopefully the Papal States doesn't attack me out of random spite. So as it stands, we are going to proceed on to the next turn now, because I can't really do anything against Captain Maxius. I don't want to intervene in papal borders. I want them to engage me ideally, so then it, you know, they come off as a bad guy in my head. There's a lot of retraining still to do here as we do recover from the plague, so we are going to have to do some general retraining here and there. So I think really next turn we should really be more or less out of a plague shed overall. So I think we're going to sit around and we're going to do some retraining with our recovered money, and then Oslo will try and deal with Captain Magnus at some point. But as it stands, we are going to go to the next turn now, observe our enemies, observe the world around us, and just see what is going down in lands. Okay, so my sneak through Spain strategy has suddenly stopped working because Leonard has been discovered. In fact, he's been discovered by Val Gutierrez, and the strength ratio is 1 to 2 against me. Val Gutierrez brings quite a few units. He's bringing 3 units of swordsman militia, a grand bombard, which, well, it's a big cannon basically, and it'll probably completely ruin my men if it had the chance. He's also got some trebuchet and plenty of Pavisa mercenaries. I'm going to try and avoid fighting this time around, so I'm going to try and withdraw and see if we can avoid a fight this time around.
They will pay for that!
Alright, no, it is going to be a fight, so we are going to take on Val Gutierrez then. So just to reiterate, we are fighting 3 units of swordsman militia, a grand bombard, a trebuchet, and several mercenary Pavisa crossbowmen. Now, luckily he does lack counter cavalry, and I have plenty of hospitaliers at my command. So I think the strategy is the hospitaliers will need to get around the flanks and bring down that artillery as well as those Pavisas. But I don't have a lot of ranged power myself, so I'm not going to be able to distract the enemy for long. Either way, this could be an interesting battle. It could be a nice little heroic win for Leonard. Or it could just be an untimely end for what was ultimately a very large folly of a mission. Either way, it's going to distract the Spanish and bring them back to here, keep them off my borders, and hey, nice opportunity to just take out an army before it even reaches my borders. Okay, Leonard, let's see what you've got with 1 men.
There'll be no escaping us now! I carry many great wounds, all honorably earned in battle. Aye, and all earned in honorable service, like a true Englishman. Perhaps today I will gain another scar, if that is God's will. I am certain, however, that I will strive to gain another victory. Your Spanish enemies are proud, Perhaps too proud. In this place, I mean to see them humbled and cut down to size. We'll see how these over-proud Iberians like the taste of English steel. I see the foe dare not fight us man to man, but must rely on a woman's stratagem of throwing things at us. And so I say this to the enemy general. Are you looking at my bird? Are ya? Huh? Come here and say that, you Nancy.
Looks like Leonard's getting a bit uncivilized, and oh yes, my guys aren't wearing very good armour by the way, so that's going to be fun. Let's start deploying our men so we can be prepared for this upcoming battle. Now, luckily, it seems that we are going to be able to access a tactically superior position if we're quick. We have a big hill here and we're going to rush to control it, though the Spanish will most likely be doing the same thing. However, this could be the best tactical position of them all. So, we're going to have the Knights Hospitaller lead this army because it'll be up to them to take control of the hill. They're faster and they can disrupt the enemy before they can make a formation. Since they lack a effective counter-cavalry unit, I'll have the general and his mailed knights try and lead an attack around the flank as well. Billmen will be making up the core and they will be making their way up to the hill as well. Archers, you also will be doing the same thing. Once you're up there, you'll be raining a lot of hellfire down upon our enemies. Spears, even though you are just wearing your simple padded cloth, you will be making your way to doing some general killing. I want you to try and get into the head of Val Guterres and, well, I want you to gut him. Still, that is the way it's going to be. So we're going to take control of this hill as quick as possible, use our cavalry to rush the enemy position, and hopefully we can come out of this one relatively unscathed, though could be against us. Right, no time to lose. Hospitaliers, up that hill now. The enemy has already taken a position up there, so we need to be quick and we need to be decisive, because otherwise they're just going to cut us down from a superior position. Knights, you need to get around the flank as well. You know what, start bringing some Hospitaliers around the flank as well. They've got plenty of swordsmen militia as well, so we need to be getting everything we have up there. Archers, make a position up on these roads, and you lot just keep moving around. In fact, if a swordsman militia wants to engage you, engage them. They're only swordsmen, they're not invincible, they're not counter-cavalry, so we're going to have a general just try and get around the flank of the enemy, and we're going to try and bring down that artillery before it absolutely annihilates us, because that's the key unit. I do see the general's bodyguard marching around. I'm going to get some Hospitaliers to keep him busy for a few minutes while I do my work on the artillery. Mailed Knight's going to move in on the trebuchet. The general is going to move in and eliminate the Grand Bombard, because I have a lot of fear around that unit. Every other unit is now moving up and preparing to provide some assistance. However, I think with this particular strategy I've adopted here, I have caught the Spanish unawares. That being said, Knights Hospitaller don't last forever in battle, so we need to keep momentum up, otherwise I'm going to start losing a lot of men, because they're already losing men. I'll put it to you like this.
The battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
I am doing my best to do so, however, a lot of my... Oh,
the
good.
enemy general lies dead. We've sent the base cur to hell.
That could confer to us the winning advantage in this particular battle. Either way, Mailed Knights, you've done a fantastic job in pulling away the bombardiers, but we have just received news that the enemy is routing a few of my men. Some of our Hospitaliers have given up the fight, but at the same time, the Spanish aren't doing much better. Right. Hospitaliers, I need you to pull out and regroup. You've bought my billmen enough time to get up here. They will now engage the swordsman militia, and they will keep them as busy as possible. I need you now to regroup and start hunting down the Pavisas. I know they're only merc Pavisas, so that means actually they do wear fairly good armour, but we are starting to push them into a routing scenario. So we do have a nice advantage in this battle.
Goes our way. Let's pray it remains as such.
In fact, I am now fairly confident we are going to win this battle. We have managed to rush the Spanish position and take this hill off, and this will be a lovely little heroic victory.
Behold how our cowardly foe
good
runs.
one.
It's time to press the attack.
Let's hunt them down. We can't afford... Well, we're compromised, so it's not like we can't afford to let the enemy know our position, but let's make sure we can make sure as few of these men get away as possible, so we can easily make our way back to English soil. So don't chase down the General's bodyguard, they're not worth it. However, chasing down all of these juicy Pavisas will do me very well, because you know what, we've only taken out, 62% is actually a very good number, but you know what, we can do better than that. We do better than 62. Like, 62 is child's play for us. Let's keep routing the enemy, but still, very glad this battle didn't go as wrong as it could have gone. This battle, honestly, this could have been an absolute washout for us, if I'm honest. And in a way, I didn't know we were going to retreat onto basically a very big hill, but you know what, I'm glad we did. I think if we'd taken it on the field, we would have lost easily. We would have been just hammered to death by Pavisas, by gunpowder, by bombards. We would have just lost instantly. But you know what? This was a battleground that was not well suited to the particular build of this Spanish army, and that is the only reason why I won this time around. I think any other scenario, and we would have lost to this army quite easily. Still, as it stands, the enemy has now retreated into their forest, retreated into the rest of Iberia, and we will deal with them later. Well, I don't really want to deal with them, but you know what? Good victory once more. Good victory. That'll teach the enemy to get in my way, even though I'm in their land. So really, they pretty much had every right to basically attack me, but I'm just glad that I've basically caused them some horrible subterfuge.
God, our foe is utterly vanquished. Let all who remember this day remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
I wouldn't say it was our most glorious victory, however, a very good victory it was. A nice hill conquered, and well, I mean, that'll humble the Spanish for now. Let's ensure we make our escape now, though. We've definitely outstayed our welcome in these lands. By the way, some experience was gained, and yeah, everyone did their job. Wasn't really a lot of killing to do. More prisoners to take, if anything. And you know what, I am going to be very cheeky. Let's see if we can get ourselves 5,000 florins.
Oh, yes. Prisoners for profit.
Oh, dear. I would have loved those 5,000 florins, but okay.
Enemy fleeting.
Oh, and then Admiral Johan attacks me again, because he does all the time.
Victory is ours, sire.
Right, looks like Captain Alema got himself a promotion, so now it's Alema Tot. And he got bored of attacking Wenzel, so he's come to deal with me. Now, I was going to ambush him, but it didn't work. Strength ratio is 1-to-1 in no one's favour. It is going to be a dead heat, this battle. Maybe, Francis, if you win this battle, maybe you can stop whinging about how you feel disrespected, even though you... I mean, seriously, Francis, I don't know what's happened to you, but you have become... You've really fallen in my books. However, perhaps this battle will restore your honour. So what is Alema Tot all about? Well, Alema Tot is all about bringing as many crossbowmen to a battle as you would think to be possible. It seems to be a common theme in our recent battles. We seem to be dealing with more and more Pavisas than ever before. That being said, he's also brought some other wicked tricks. He's brought a unit of Croat axes, a catapult, some dismounted feudal knights, a ballista and a bombard, as well as some town militia. So it's kind of like the army we faced at Venice very recently. A lot of crossbows, quite a bit of artillery, and some ever so pleasant to deal with Hungarian nobles. Our infantry is going to have a hard time dealing with all this missile power. However, our cavalry should be capable of, once more, I think we're going to have to rush the enemy position. But let us exercise patience and temperance and deploy our men upon this battlefield, for we'll be fighting in the forests today. We could spring a trap or two.
Muster your courage, men! The love of God is 1,000 times stronger than any mortal armor. His wrath against our foes is 1,000 times better than 1,000 arrows. Our faith gives us his aid, and more. It will give us victory. Now cries St. George, and look for that victory. Our Hungarian foes would do well to run back to the stables where they were birthed. We will shortly harness them, geld them, and break them to our purpose. Those men are a quarter of our foe's total strength. Think on that, for when they are dead, we will have torn the very arm from our enemy. Now, lads, this will need courage. We must advance into a hail of missiles and then kill them. And now, at them, lads! I want the pink elephants and green pixies to lead the attack. Have you met my wife? Bloody ugly woman. Probably fighting with that lot over there. And we're buggered if she's on their side. Look, do you want to fight?
What a strangely varying tone in this battle, but it does also present us with some good things. One, Hungarian people apparently live in stables. I didn't know that. I guess hospitals don't exist over there. Apologies if that comes across as racist. You know what to do. You can just call me out on Twitter or something. Anyway, also, this army, which is just another big old Hungarian army that we've faced off a few times before, it's a quarter of their strength, meaning with what we've knocked back so far, I suspect the Hungarians are beginning to run out of men. Now, naturally they are going to raise new armies, provided that their economy has been completely shitlocked by the plague, but that interests me a lot. It suggests that the Hungarians are weak. Now, if I needed to take more territories, I would naturally say, ooh, I'm just going to walk in and take their empire. I'm not going to. I have no design on taking any Hungarian territory, not even Zagreb. I will just, once more, like the Spanish, we're just going to hold them and say, just fuck off, really. But I am glad to hear that the Hungarians are probably going to be a very minor issue for us from the future onwards, or at least for a time being, because they're running out of men, and hopefully this will be a nice big upset for them, and it might even scare them off. Now, it's a heavily forest battlefield, and while I have trouble in forests, at the same time, it really presents us with an opportunity to take a superior defensive position. Like this hill here, it's another great position, and we've got forests where we can scatter some men to keep them back. So, that is what we're going to do. So, let's get our... apologies. Artillery up here first, so...
Advance!
That's going to go there. And let's see, what else am I going to lay out? How am I going to do this one, actually? It's mainly because I don't want the Pavisas just to stand around and snipe me all day. We need a strong front line, so I definitely do not want to be using Billmen and dismounted English Knights as a front line. They're just going to get wiped by everything. So, and I want to try and keep the majority of my army just hidden. So if I do this, my front line is now invisible. So that's already a good start. Longbows, you know what, I'm not even going to bother with sticks because I know there is enemy cavalry, but there isn't really a lot of enemy cavalry. But then again, no, you know what, get some stakes out. Once more, I just have to be careful where I run my own cavalry. So I'm going to get some stakes here, and our longbowmen will just deploy here, and they will just basically rain some very sneaky fire. In fact, we could probably just keep our other archers here as well, because they can also do the same. So they're just here ready to start raining a lot of fire upon me. For that being said, actually, should I be... No, you know what? I'm gonna keep my peasant archers here. Longbowmen get to go in front just because of their stakes. They'll hold back any enemy charge, or at least bog them down for a precious few seconds. But I want to keep you guys back behind my spears, who will be able to protect you. Right. What else do I need on this one? I've got my cavalry. Now, I'm going to try and space my cavalry out. I'm going to keep 2 units of dismounted feudal knights hidden here. So then I've got an ambushing force to try and strike out on some hidden Hungarian positions, or at least no, keep them further away. I want to try and launch a surprise flank attack ultimately. I'm going to have you two just group up as well, just for the neatness of my UI. General, I want you here because you can never hide, so I need you somewhere where you're going to tempt the enemy. Right. Armoured swordsman, I'm going to keep you far back, because you will be used in the battle against the enemy knights, but you're not particularly... you know, I don't want you just going to sit around and just get absolutely smashed by enemy missiles. So I'm going to keep those guys back. Yeoman, how did I forget about you? Well, I'm going to unforget about you now. let's get you deployed here as well, and I'm gonna get you to put your stakes out. So now I've got basically 2 layers of stakes just to make life really hard for the enemy. But then again, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna deploy you like this, and then there we go. But if you could deploy it like this, there we go. I mean, that'll do us even better. So there we go. Like, plenty of stakes down. This is going to make life even harder for the enemy now. I also have my Ryber, which I don't believe a Ryber can be hidden, actually. It can't hide, so I'm going to keep the Ryber here for now. I don't really have much of a design use for it, but then again, if we do have to get the enemy fighting up here, I'm going to basically make this my artillery zone, which is going to be just guarded by a solitary unit of billmen, which sounds like I'm like being pathetically weak with them, but I'm going to keep a unit of mailed knights just hidden here. They'll spring out and attack, as well as the general, should the enemy try and attack them. So I kind of laid them a tempting trap there in a way. You just gang up with a Ryber, you're going to guard them, and the artillery will just try and fight what it can. Okay, so I basically tried to design myself a little bit of an ambush here. So I have my main line of spearmen hidden. I have pretty much all my units hidden, so the enemy does not know how I've laid out my area, and more importantly, they can't target them with missiles. But that being said, I've got my yeomen and my longbowmen in a nice defensive position on the hill. I've got stakes to slow down enemy cavalry charges, mainly coming from the general or his Hungarian nobles. I've got 2 new units of feudal knights here who are waiting to spring a nasty little ambush. And yeah, it's looking good. That being said, the enemy tends to work out where I am instantly because I think the enemy AI is cheating, but whatever. Let's start this battle off. And as it stands, they have deployed quite far away. So it's going to take them time to come to me, and they are going to come to me. I'm not the aggressor in this one. In fact, I think is restricted view in play here, or did I think the camera unrestricted itself? So, oh, it's probably because I'm on top of a hill. I basically got like mega massive line of sight, so we can watch what the enemy does this time around. Now, the big concern is the enemy artillery, which you know, is probably going to be actively working against me. The catapult can't fire at anything just yet. I'm going to give it its fire at will permissions just to hit anything it can see. But the Hungarian nobles are already dangerously close to my feudal knights. I don't really want my feudal knights to be one who engages them, but for now, it looks like they're going to remain unseen. It's like an enemy patrol. It's like playing Thief again, isn't it? But I just want to wait and see. I really want just for my longbowmen just to sit at the top of a hill and just basically make life very hard for the enemy, but I wanna spring my feudal knight trap at the right time. But as it stands, it looks like the enemy's going to make their battle line. I think they're just going to slowly advance continually. But I am just very concerned about these nobles. They're going to find my feudal knights. I may have put them a bit too close to the front line in a way, but then again, I wasn't really too sure on where the enemy would deploy. I mean, I guess this valley would have been a safe bet, but they are, I think they are actually just scouting, and I think like they are well aware that I will have hidden forces and I will have created an ambush somewhere, and they are actively looking for my units. If they get much closer, they actually are going to spot my men. You can see him just over there. Still, let's just hope that this patrol passes by harmlessly, while the enemy now begins advancing the rest of its army. So it is going to come to me, fortunately. It is not going to just sit around for the length of an eternity and just wait for me to come to them, because I am not coming to them. They are going to have to come to me. Look at some of these hats, by the way. They're very strange hats, aren't they? We've got the nice mailed ones, and then we've got the kind of wizard hats, and then we've got the nice cold hats. And then we've just got the really weird hats that make me think of Ottoman people when they're not Ottomans, but I guess there's kind of some sort of inspiration there in a way. I'm not too keen on these hats. I find them strange, but then again, strange is good sometimes. That was like a conehead hat, actually. Anyway, let's continue having the enemy just advance up the hill. Our longbowmen have just opened fire, by the way, so they are loosing off their first few shots, or at least they're getting ready to loose off their first few shots. Apparently they can fire, but they're not firing. Yeomen are also getting ready to loose off their first few shots, so they're going to shoot whatever they can, or at least they're pretending to fire whatever they can. So the enemy will now be tipped off as to where my archers are positioned. However, that is fine by me. Right, archers, by the way, you must be in a guarding formation. Do not advance unnecessarily forward, but do start opening fire upon those Hungarian nobles if you can do so. They're a unit who definitely needs wearing down, because they basically represent the most annoyance to me. That being said, it looks like my feudal knights will remain unseen, but then again, that line here is getting way too close, so I'm going to have to be prepared to spring this trap. And in a way, it seems like a wasted trap now, because they're basically going to take on... yeah, we're going to get spotted. Right, lads, you're compromised. Pull off a quick charge now. See what damage you can do. Artillery, are you able to start opening fire? Yeah, probably not. No, it can, right. Start opening fire whatever you can. Right. So, I've just managed to quickly open fire. Right, lads, what it's going to be is it's going to be a charge and retreat. You've done a good job, but I'm not going to have you sit around and basically just get shot to bits by Pavisas. I have a better job for you. The enemy artillery is lagging behind, so I want you to get up there and take it out, because it's going to try. Yeah, it's already starting to fire upon my positions. I do not want to be shelled from basically the bottom of the hill. So, you lot, I know it seems a bit beneath you. You are knights after all, but I need you to start. Oh, hello, the general's bodyguard's come to say hello. Actually, right. Get him killed. Let the artillery live for a little bit longer if you want. Right, longbows, how are we doing? We are firing out as much as we can. Peasant archers are using fire arrows. That's fine. But as it stands, the enemy is now getting really close to our positions. However, our shots have rung straight and true. We have managed to make life quite hard for those Hungarian nobles. So, yeomen, you keep focusing on them, because I really need them gone. Artillery, you just start shooting over here, please. Right, there's a lot of stuff to worry about right now. Right, feudal knights are still picking on the general. He's not doing well. But then again, my knights could be doing better as well. I need you to surround him and just close off all his attempts to escape. Longbows, you try and start taking out these Pavisas, because they are stacked up and they are going to be causing us a lot of trouble. I would bring the general out to play, but I can't when it's looking like this, because he's gonna get shot as soon as anything happens. Right, you get into the side of that general's bodyguard and just kill the general. Like, he enjoyed 5 entire minutes of being a general. Now he just gets to be nothing again. Alright, first few Hungarian units have made it up. Right, we've got some peasants advancing on our position. Some Croats. Right, get rid of them. Longbowmen, yeah, you skirmish, but that's fine. I'm not going to criticise you for skirmishing. But yeah, the enemy are advancing on our position. We've got Croat axes advancing, town militia advancing. There'll be some knights among them as well. My archers are doing what they can. Right, let's start bringing in some of the big lads. Armoured swordsmen. I'm going to bring a unit around to provide some additional help for us. Right, how are we doing over here? I feel like I spent too much time focusing on this, but right, you lot really need to get that general's bodyguard finished off now. Knights, let's get you out and about now. I need you to start chasing down anything that's fleeing. Go chase down those Croats, please. I don't want them coming back. I don't want any units coming back, ideally. Right. It's not easy to see when there's trees everywhere, but either way, lads, start making your way down this hill now. We're gonna advance downwards. We're gonna just push forward, get through anything we can. Armoured swordsmen, thank you for joining us, by the way. Get in there, finish off these disparate feudal knights. My lads are struggling against them. Like, it's not their unit to kill. Archers, I want you to cease fire now, because look, your accuracy is already suffering in these trees, and I can't risk you killing off a unit that is very valuable to me. Right, spears, down this hill now as quick as you can. We're going to get into those Pavisas and we're going to engage them. How's the knight and general battle gone? It's like, yeah, it's been an absolute farce, but either way, we've kept the general held back. We've stopped him from getting directly involved in this battle. You lot need to come up and lend a bit more of a hand though, because right now you just sat there not contributing. But you have managed to take out the artillery crew, so you know what, I take that back. You have been contributing. You've been contributing very well. Right, how are we doing here? We're advancing down the hill very slowly. It's not easy to see, unfortunately, in these hills, but we have got the Pavisas being pushed back now, and their morale isn't doing too well, so I'm very happy about that. Let's get all our heavier infantry starting to come down now as well. The enemy's losing their missile power because we've got them on the run, so our units who don't possess shields are now safer to advance. Francis, I need you coming down as well and helping out as much as you can. I need to get these Pavisas pushed out. I need them gone, really. Spears, just keep pushing down the hill. Just keep pushing in this general direction here. That seems to be where the enemy is headed in general, right? How is the general not dead yet? This dilemma seems to be an absolute dilemma for
The
us.
battle is very much in
Down
our
to
favour.
13 men,
If we
but
remain true
he
and
just isn't
steadfast,
dying.
victory will be ours.
Come on, lads. Need more results than what you're providing me right now. Feudal Knights, by the way, you're doing a very good job at chasing. Keep at it, right? You know what, General? I need you to get in there, and I need you to relieve the Feudal Knights. They've really tried. I'll give them that. They've really tried, but they haven't delivered the results. Feudal Knights, you get on with some chasing. You're very light in them now, so you can do some chasing. Let some fresh bodies come in. Let a superior General's bodyguard
The
come
enemy
in.
general lies dead. We've sent the base cur to hell.
That's a lemma gone. Right, get in there and deal with the Pavisas now. Let's finish this army off. I mean, oh, look at that tempting mob. That's just asking for a cavalry charge just to... Well, it's asking for pretty much anything that's incredibly devastating to happen to it. That's just so much killing we can do there. But right, spears. I know it's like the annoying thing of, ooh, let's just run really fast at them and just watch them continually run away. However, I have got the General's bodyguard coming in to just basically sandwich them. Right, Knight, you keep giving the enemy some shit here. Artillery, you can just ceasefire now. You've done your job for today. In fact, I think you've probably set fire to some units you probably weren't supposed to set fire to, because those are some burnt-looking male knights there. But whatever, I'm not going to criticise you right now for that. Instead, what we are going to do is we're going to focus our efforts now on bringing down those Hungarian nobles. And how are we doing over here? We have got the enemy well and truly on the run. Keep at it, lads. Keep pushing the enemy army away. We well, I think this has turned from what they were hoping to be a very successful battle into, well, an absolute rout, really. I mean, look at that. My male knights now just chasing down everything. Don't bother chasing down the General's bodyguard or the Hungarian nobles. They're not worth your time. Or you're chasing down their artillery pieces, ideally, because I don't want them having them back. In fact, what is left here is actually just about nothing. So let's get you back into the core battle. Still a lot of these Pavisas to bring down, who are never going to represent the more annoying aspects of the Hungarian army throughout the remainder of this campaign. That being said, there are a lot of them left.
They have lost half their men.
But still, we haven't progressed as fast as I'd like to. We've only killed off half of their army, and there's still a lot of them left. Finding their positions is an absolute trial, but I think in general, I think they've actually just issued a general retreat order. Pretty much everything is just moving away from us as fast as it can. I mean, they're either skirmishing or they are just running away now. So either way, we're going to just keep up as much pressure as we can on them. Just keep charging them down. Just keep putting them on the retreat. Keep putting them on the route, and when that victory shall be ours. You lot, try and focus your efforts on this nice chunky unit of Pavisas here. Just see if you can chase them down, get them killed. But pretty much every other unit isn't really getting a look in. In fact, some of them have just barely moved all battle because, well, yeah, I was going to bring these guys in, but I just didn't get the opportunity, really, because as it stands right now, I'm basically just running around a big foresty hill, just trying to do everything. Right, you. There's a unit here trying to fire some missiles. Let's get rid of them. I don't want to see any more units getting attacked by missiles, because these guys have just been barraged or something. So, you know, I don't want them getting hit by anything else anymore. You know what? Try and start bringing them in to try and attack those Pavisas as well. What's going on over there? Oh, they're just routing. That's fine. General, keep going on here. I think we definitely haven't killed enough enemy units to... actually, we're on 71%. Right, we've killed a lot of them, but I think we've definitely... These guys will definitely continue existing, but
cowardly foe
a nice little victory there.
It's time to press the attack.
Seems like the theme of today's battles is hills, isn't it, by the way? You know, last time we rushed the hill to take its position. This time we descended the hill. Still, I am incredibly satisfied with where this battle's gone. Yes, there will have been some losses. However, at the same time, my losses were quite insignificant. Only a fifth of my army passed away in this particular battle, which, yeah, alright, sounds a bit significant, but you know what? It was pretty crap terrain for me to fight in anyway. I'm just not good at forest battles in this game, if I'm honest. And I think really the reason for that is it's really genuinely bloody hard for me to see what I'm doing here. And my micromanagement skill is not at its maximum capacity yet. I'm sure I can improve my micromanagement, but for now it's a work in progress. See, we're right. Let's just keep chasing down these Pavisas, just keep slaughtering them, just keep taking as many. I mean, look at the bloody prisoners I'm taking here. I'm taking nearly 1,000 prisoners here. Like, that's a lot of prisoners, a lot of ransom money I'm going to be asking the Hungarians for. I'm going to give them the opportunity to ransom again. I will not be releasing them though, because if you know what, if I'm basically, if I basically killed, you know, what I killed 96, like 98, 99, like that's it. This army won't be coming back to haunt me now. So basically, that is now a quarter of the Hungarian army, like, after all the ones I've killed so far, gone. So, you know what, I think we can probably add it over to. I've basically now, you know, through the Anglo-Hungar war, whatever we want to call this war, I'm just going to call it another bloody war. Basically, as it stands, we've basically wiped out half of Hungary's army, more or less. So it's not their day or their turn. Basically, they have made an error in attacking me. Luckily, I'm in a merciful mood, and I will not be pursuing further attack with them. You know, I won't be, you know, hunting down their provinces, killing off all their lads. But you know, they've basically got themselves into a war where they're taking no gain, no advantage, and in fact, they've just basically committed a lot of their men to death. Now, the Pope will probably take a dim view on this, but he basically likes anyone who hates me now. However, I would, well, war weariness isn't really a thing in this game. I mean, I know it became a thing in Age of Charlemagne, really, which was one of the add-on campaigns for Total War Attila, but if there was war weariness in this, I think these guys are going to be very weary.
This is a great victory, worthy of only the mightiest of generals.
Another heroic victory, which I will take. Francis, hopefully this will make you feel less disrespect, but look at that, by the way. That is actually a fantastic result. We've taken down an army of 1,701 men down to 93. And meanwhile, I had also basically lost 258 men in process. I guess we did have the superior terrain helping us, even though, like I said, it's not terrain I'm good at, but it definitely gave us the advantage in that the enemy could not just sit around and just ping their missiles. They had to come to me. Soon it went wrong when my night ambush point did not get maximum effectiveness. However, it did slow down the general's bodyguard. It did bring him to his demise. And it basically hindered the progress of him, and it also stopped his artillery from getting their bang for their buck. So I am very happy with the way it went. Quite a few units getting into the triple digits as well. A lot of experience distributed among the army. So yeah, I am very happy with that, and I'm just going to call that a very strong victory for my men. And we can see if we can get another cheeky 5,000 florins. I doubt they'll pay up, but we can always give them the opportunity. Ooh! Ooh! Nice. That's a nice bonus payment in my pocketbook.
Glory! Honor! Victory!
The enemy has surrounded us. We are besieged.
The great drowning of men. An incredible southwesterly Atlantic gale like never before has struck the northwestern tip of Europe, which is basically a bit iron, lashing England right across to Denmark. Unstoppable storm tides have swept inland, killing many, and conditions at sea are only dire enough to make sailing for the brave or foolish only. That's not good then. So some floodings occurred in some of my territories, meaning well, sailing is now out of the question, and also I've probably lost some population here and there. There's a few naval things that we do need to tie up, however, we are just about out of time today. That being said, settlement besieged. Milan is being sieged by the Papal States. We'll deal with that later because, yeah. Deathstock's land still. We are still being plagued in a few places. Nottingham, Magdeburg, Toulouse and Bologna are suffering from plague, as are a lot of characters. And the turn report, we're on... Actually, I think we've not just bounced back, we've overbounced. We've now got 36,000 florins at our disposal, and we're going to be investing that in retraining today. Faction answers, by the way, Hugh of Alcaster, who was my spy in Palermo, sadly passed away of plague. Senior Plantangent has now been born. Melina Chapman has died. Francis of West Derby, by the way, has now finally proven himself as a commander and given some command. Joffrey feels appreciated. Thomas Bower no longer well, he actually is now feeling unappreciated. I guess that's because I've basically condemned him to govern London forever. Alfred the Honest feels appreciated. Jacob, actually, sorry, no, Alfred no longer feels appreciated. Jacob no longer feels appreciated, and Thomas no longer feels appreciated as well. So their loyalty is starting to dip. Retinue expansions are Ambrose Kerfos has a biographer and a fine armour. Luz has a bard, and Godwin Luz has an ordnance master. Good. Very happy about that. That being said, Francis, you still feel disrespected. Oh my god, how do you get less loyal when you basically win me one of the best victories ever? Like, He's gonna defect. I just know he's gonna defect. He's like, he's so gonna get bribed or something. Ugh, like, I will deal with this little ignorant wound of a man later, because I give this man so much, yet he gives me so little in return. I mean, he got a heroic victory and now he's just being an absolute bellend. By the way, Rennes, Paris and Breslau have completed some irrigation projects for me, so I'll give him an extra project now. So Rennes, you could probably use working on a dockyard for more naval trade. Paris, you can start working on a great market for more money would be lovely. And Breslau, you can also start working on siege works would be good for trebuchets. However, a militia drill square will be most useful. And yeah, I have now blown through quite a bit of money, but it's alright. The rest of it's going to be for retraining. In terms of recruitment, by the way, Milan has some merchant cavalry militia and trebuchets. Also, some dismounted feudal knights and hobilars. Vienna, some spear militia. And then so on and so forth. Now, this does pretty much bring us to the end of this episode. It has just been more or less an hour.
Hail my king!
So, I think this is a good place to call it an episode, in that, yeah. And I know some people, I know someone's going to moo now about, I shouldn't have ransomed that army, but you know what? Those 5,000 florins, well, if you ever watched the old Asda adverts where someone would basically slap themselves on the ass, that is what I'm doing right now, because that is a lot of money in my pocket. And that money's just been invested in some more infrastructure.
Hail my king!
Anyway, as it stands, I'm not going to do any more battles this episode, but I might just do a little bit of admin quickly. You know what? Yeah, I think we will. So let's quickly go to our... oh, by the way, yeah, we've got some rebels. Captain Ralph.
You are not my
Anthony of Bristol will deal with them, but I'm not dealing with rebels now, because that is beneath us. By the way,
Ships ready!
you just keep getting attacked by everything. You know what? I'm going to have you land, because I'm not
the fleet, sir.
having my diplomat die
Yes, my
randomly.
lord.
You know what? You're going to just link
Boarding
up back with
transport.
James.
Aye, sire.
Admiral Nicholas, just go to
Set
Dublin
sail.
and leave me alone. Right. By the way, you
Your
have the
Majesty.
orders of getting to Admiral James, so there we go. Right.
Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Let's just quickly finish off this episode by doing some retraining. Let's make sure we are now underway with our retraining, because now that the plague is no longer afflicting us, we need to ensure that we have plans in place to replace our fallen men who have been depleted from the plague. Because one, it is really bloody annoying having like unfinished men, and you know, if there is ever a rebellion, ever a surprise attack, we need to be ready to catch it as soon as it occurs. So yeah, I know Marseille is a lovely minor city. Let's just keep merging our men. I can do, at least I can do it without close this menu, which is fine. Can't retrain those guys, we've got no men left. Dijon, merge and retrain. This is probably going to take up the majority of my money for this turn, however, it's definitely a worthy venture for doing it this time around, just given that, you know, it's going to have to happen really, so therefore we are making it happen. Let's see, Cagliari, you're good. Staufen, let's get you retrained. Genoa, yep, you keep retraining. We could do some recruitment in Genoa as well. Milan can't retrain because we've got a bloody army at the gates. We'll deal with that next episode. That's going to be one of our top priorities for next episode. So there we go. Just Frankfurt needs more stuff. You lot as well. There we go. Let's see. Aarhus. It's nice. Honestly, to a person who told me about the M key trick, honestly, I think this is probably the trick or the tactic I have actually probably taken the most to heart. Like, I know in one way it sounds daft, but honestly, this is actually such a genuine time saver of a trick that I honestly now can't see myself playing this game without it, just because of the way it auto merges my men, and it is saving me so much money on retraining. Yes, it is reducing my army sizes and I will have to re-recruit units outright, but at the same time, when I can only retrain so many units at once, I don't want to spend like my entire life retraining units. So it definitely pays off in the long run to do this, because it just really does, really. Like, and you know, some units also merge together, they can merge their experiences together and remain as experienced units as well. So you're not risking losing some of your best units from this as well. Yeah, you probably won't get like a gold chevron dude out of it, but if it saves time and retraining, then that's good. By the way, Captain Leonard, I want you in there, and then we'll do your retraining there, because I know you've got multiple men to retrain, so there we go. Dublin, retrain those ships if you could please. Carnevillon, pretty much nearly at the end of it now. Rennes, there we go. Bordeaux, let's keep on retraining, 'cause I don't know when the next Spanish attack's incoming. They're being quite quiet at the minute, but they'll start being noisy soon. Iverness, you might not have a garrison. Right, I need to get a garrison of some sort in Iverness. It is a bit daft that I haven't put a garrison in there, but yeah, I know the king seems to be very popular and doesn't seem to cause any issues. Oh, by the way, yeah, well, let's also get a garrison here. I know I'm recruiting town militia who I don't like, but given that these are towns with a probability of 0 to be attacked, I think we can get away with it. Toulouse, there we go. We don't want to lose Toulouse, do we? York, you also need to have a garrison of some description as well, especially since rebels have a habit of cropping up in this area. Oh yeah, this is where we had the St. John's chapter house. Right, I might send some guys for retraining then. But we'll deal with that later when we dealt with Captain Ralph, because, yeah, I want to have a think about how we're doing that one. Nottingham, you need to merge up and do your retraining as well. So let's retrain whatever we can. In fact, you know what? Send your
Hail, my king!
Send your hospitalities to a chapter house. They can be retrained in York. York, can you retrain these guys? Yes, you can. Good. So take one of your recruit slots off. You do that. Retrain your gun hulk, by the way, and then no, recruit more gun hulks as well. I wanna build up this navy because there's some issues we need to do. Right, there we go. So yeah, that's a lot of my money spent on retraining. However, that is just going to boost up my garrisons, get them back up to full strength, and so on and so forth, all that good stuff. However, that is where we must call it an episode for today, my friends. We have achieved quite a lot today. I'm very happy with our progress. I mean, alright, I know we've only gone for like one turn, but you know what? 2 famous battles, 4 and 1. Like, we now have... by the way, let's keep you moving. Let's try and get you back to your homeland as soon as possible. But there's a famous battle there for myself, and there's going to be another famous battle here, which Francis will be stood on. But you know what? 2 heroic victories makes me a happy chappy, and next time we are going to deal with Prince Denners. We are going to deal with probably this guy, and we're going to get closer to sieging Palermo. Looks like the Sicilians are going to try and stop me with Bufilio Caracci coming forward. It wasn't an attack, I was just clicking on you, but you will be seeing an attack next time. Oh yes, I think Palermo is actually going to hand itself over at this rate if he's just going to send random generals to attack us, but let's not get too cocky just yet. Our enemies always tend to have something up their sleeves, but it's only just now I'm catching on that they do have sleeves. It's where they keep their armies. Anyway, see you on the next episode, my friends, for more Medieval 2 action. And once more, thank you very much for joining me on this entire week of Total War content. Next weekend, I do believe it'll be episode 100! Ooh, that's going to be an exciting one. Going to be a long one as well. I'll think of something to do there. But until then, have a lovely evening, my friends. Stay safe and stay happy.